back to another video. My name is Alizé and I'm your favorite black transsexual. Get up into the big prayer, whatever. I'm back. How y'all doing, girl? You already know what this black transsexual is having to do, girl. Whatever, girl. I am pushing out this content for y'all. Boom shakalaka. Before we get to today's video, girl, I need you guys to like, comment, and subscribe because you would never find another black transsexual like me. Hello, hello, hello. I'm beautiful. You're beautiful. Get up into the big prayer, whatever. Go ahead and lock in on myself. I'm gonna be honest with you guys. Lately, I have been exhausted. Not just exhausted like physically, I've been exhausted mentally. When I was working at my past job, I was working nearly every single day. It felt like it because the days that I'm not working at that job, I'm working at the other job. And the days that I'm not working at that job, I'm working at the other job. It's just so much. And for me as a black trans woman, I get exhausted. You know, I'm a human being. I'm a human being with feelings. And I feel like a lot of people don't understand that. A lot of my coworkers in the past or whatever at my other job, you know, they were always coming up to me talking about what's wrong, Alizé? What's wrong, Alizé? Y'all don't understand that I'm working my tail off to get to my future. Like, I want to sit over here and grind. I want to sit over here and hustle. I want to sit over here and put in effort to my goals and my ambitions and my aspirations because I'm Alizé and I'm walking my own path. As a black trans woman, you know, you have to understand that you have to be very strong in this world because there's not that many people like you. There's not that many people that are going to be strong like you. And that's the hardest pill that I had to swallow because I realized there's not that many black trans women like me. And pertaining to my job, I just realized like this job is stressing me out. I'm in the back, you know, making bread. You know, I'm doing it for $18 an hour. I can't complain and I get weekly pay. But to be honest with you, I was only working 3 days out of the week or whatever, right? And to be honest with you, I will only work 3 to 4 hours a shift. So 3, 6, 9. I'm working 9 hours a week. That's terrible. Like, to be honest with you, that's not livable. Like, I used to go home with like $100 or like $150 sometimes, you know, $200. The $200, that's not bad because 2, 4, 6, 8, $800 a month if I don't spend it ghettoly or whatever, right? But I realized, like, to be honest with you, I'm making way more money at the job that I just got currently off of, and I realized like I'm stressing myself out trying to sit over here and basically people please. Like, you know, at your jobs or whatever, you can't have attitudes. They want you to sit over here and be friendly to all the coworkers. You know, like if you ever like told your manager like, you know, you're, you know, having an issue with your job and they tell you to just suck it up. Like, I feel like that was happening to me because like I'm telling my, you know, boss when I got pulled to the side, my boss was asking me like, Alizé, what's wrong? We're getting complaints saying that you have attitudes, that you're shoving people, this and that. I'm not trying to have an attitude. I'm truly being honest with you guys. Like, these people got on my absolute nerve when I'm telling you I'm coming down the line. When I'm telling you I'm trying to get through, nobody wants to move. So I'm gonna shove you out my way. I'm gonna say coming out. I'm gonna scream at you because I'm carrying all this stuff and I'm carrying all these buckets of ice. I'm carrying, you know, these heavy trays. Like, I want you people to move. And to be honest with you, like, I told my boss, I was like, you know, every time I would express this to somebody, like, it's not being heard. And like my boss was like, well, you never came to me. I feel like I can't come to my bosses because if you come to your bosses with the issue, they're going to sit over here and try to find a replacement. I'm not stupid. Like, let's not act stupid. You get what I mean? And with my bosses, like, you know, a lot of my managers, because we have multiple managers. We have buzzer managers. We have the line manager. We have the kitchen manager. We have the GM. And then we have the server manager. It's a lot of managing, y'all. And I never got along with any of them besides the GM or whatever, right? Because the GM, he's gay, he's a homosexual, he's a queen just like me. I love that. I love that we can bond off of that. And, you know, we used to kiki and cackle and talk about guess who's the trade at this job, guess who's the trade at that. Like, ooh, you, I know you, go get you some. Like, we used to hype each other up. Like, that was my favorite boss. That was my favorite boss of all time, to be honest with you. And to be honest with you, like, he could have, you know, sat over here and fired me a long time ago, but like he gave me an $18 raise and I'm grateful for that. But I realized, like, the more I've gotten into this job and the more I started to level up, I feel like that made people resent me because I realized as a black trans woman, you know, a lot of people are out to get you and you might not sit over here and think it, but a lot of people do not like you. When people find out that you're trans, they treat you a different way. They treat you so differently from the average person. And I realized that very young. I don't like people to be in my business. I don't like people to sit over here and know what I got going on. I like to know what I got going on. I like to keep all of my business between me and myself because people are nosy. People are weird. People talk behind your back and not everybody has good intentions. You get what I mean? And I realize not everybody has good intentions, very early, because a lot of people will sit over here and just poop on you, and I don't like that type of stuff. And a lot of people started to misgender me. Like, I remember, my manager, she's like one of the cooks or whatever. I think one of the cook managers or whatever. Her little short self or whatever, right? I remember, she was like, Isaiah, can you stay for this? I'm like, who is Isaiah? Like, I looked at her funny. I'm like, who is Isaiah? She's like, well, on the papers it says Isaiah. Do I look like Isaiah to you? Everybody else is calling me Alizaiah. Why are you calling me Isaiah? So, it kind of rubbed me the wrong way, but I realized, like, I'm in a workplace. I can't take that to heart. I just got to keep it pushing. It's not the end of the world. But every time I would see her, she'll say hi to me, and she'll always say, oh, hey Isaiah, and every time she would get frustrated with me, she'll always say Isaiah. So it was this one time I was having a horrible day or whatever. Like, I realized, like, I had to go to work, and this was a morning shift, and I had to go at a night shift at my other job. I was over it, girl, and I barely got any amounts of sleep. Like, I was tired. And so, I went into work or whatever, right? And everybody could tell I had an attitude or whatever. So everybody stepped on my way, girl. I went straight to my station. I got to work or whatever, right? And so then that's when she comes over and she says, a lady's asking for you, or she wants to see you or whatever. I told her I'll go get him. Him? Can you use my pronouns? So I told her, I'm like, I'm not gonna go out there. I'm not in the mood. And then I told her, like, before you walk off, I need to tell you something. I'm not Isaiah, and I don't go by he, him. You see me looking like this. You see me dressing like this. Where do you get he from? I don't even sound like a man. I don't even dress like a man. I present myself as a woman. I present myself as a trans woman. You need to get it right. If the GM, if everybody else can get it right, why can't you get it right? And so she was so taken aback, and she was like, well, where is this hostility coming from? It's because you just can't get my pronouns right. It's not that hard to get my pronouns right. Like, I'm not, for, respect my pronouns and all this and that, because I really, truly don't care. But it's just like, if I tell you one time and you can't get it right, I'm gonna hold a grudge. I'm gonna be like, okay, this is how it is. Don't talk to me. This is strictly business. Like, don't be all friendly and buddy-buddy with me, because no, you can't respect my pronouns. Simple as that. And so, like, with her, I guess that's rubbed her the wrong way or whatever, right? So, the day goes by or whatever, right? I'm getting ready to go home or whatever, right? So then she proceeds to tell me I had to stay for a night shift because somebody called out. I'm like, that has nothing to do with me. I'm scheduled until 4:00. I'm finna go to my next job. I gotta go make some money. So then she tried to give me this whole little long story. I'm like, ma'am, you need to shut it up. I told her flat out, shut up. I don't want to hear it. I'm finna go to work. I got things to do. And so then she was like, well, I'm gonna write you up because I said, you could write me up. I absolutely don't care. I'm in the right because I don't know, in my schedule I have another job. I'm not obligated to sit over and stress myself out for a job that's paying me $18 an hour and my checks are only $100. That makes no sense. I'm only working for 9 hours a week. You think I'm finna slave? I'm not your slave. This ain't giving the 1980s. This not giving the 1960s. This is show not giving the 1800s. I'm not your slave. So after that, I walked out or whatever. I went about my business. I have nothing else to do. Like, I had to go straight to work or whatever, right? So I went to work, everything was good. So then I came back, the next morning because I had another shift in the morning or whatever, right? She wasn't there, thank God, because I didn't want to see her or whatever, right? So it was the other short manager or whatever, right? Don't want to say no names because I don't know who's watching this, but like, it was the other short manager or whatever, and she's so fake. Like, I'm gonna be honest with y'all, like, she was the fakest manager I've ever had. Like, her smile always faded when she looked at me. Even when I first started the job, like, I don't like stuff like that. And the shift that I had a buzzer shift or whatever, right? I was buzzing tables, I was stocking the side stations up, and it was kind of getting busy. I'm not gonna lie, it was kind of getting busy, but I'm only one person. I can't go to point A to point B to point C to point D all at once. Like, I gotta go one by one. Like, give me a second, right? And so I'm hearing an intercom. I'm like, I need a buzzer here, I need a buzzer there, I need this, I need that. I'm like, oh my God, let me turn it off, right? So I turned the walkie-talkie off or whatever, right? Because I was getting stressed out. So then, I'm talking to my coworker while we buzzing tables or whatever, right? And so then she's telling me, she's like, oh, such and such, the manager, she's like, you're so slow today, and you usually are fast, She's like, I don't know what's going on. And then I'm like, word, like, I don't need to hear this. Like, this is one thing I hate. I hate people talking behind my back, because why are you telling me somebody's talking about my back? People like that, I don't trust, because, like, if somebody's talking behind my back and you're just letting them talk behind my back, I don't trust you because you're weird, you're fake. I don't like that type of stuff. And so I'm like, well, to be honest with you, I'm not obligated to stress myself out, because when you're clocked in as a buzzer, you're getting paid by tips, and your hourly pay is $6 an hour. Like, do you hear this? This is slavery. So I'm looking and I'm thinking, I'm like, why am I stressing myself out? So I go even slower, girl. Now I'm not gonna, bust my, tailbone for you. I'm not, because you sitting over here telling me I'm slow when I'm doing so much at once. Like, girl, no, I'm not stressing myself out. So then, I remember she came up to me or whatever, right? And so, she gave me this fake grin, and she's like, so, when are you gonna go do this table? I'm like, ma'am, I literally just got done doing the table. Can I empty out my cart first? Like, please, like, you doing too much.
And I also forgot to say that these people did not like me going into the girls' restroom. I can tell by the demeanor. Like, everybody would look at me crazy when I came out the girls' restroom or when I would go in there. I remember one of the managers asked me to, stop using the bathroom. I looked at them crazy. I'm like, who is you talking to? And they were like, well, I'm like, it ain't no well, like, I don't want to hear it. Like, I don't understand a lot of people with this trans debate over the bathrooms. Like, I truly don't. I go in there to breathe. I go in there to use the restroom. I go in there to use it like every other human being. I'm not finna go in there, into the men's restroom, looking like a woman and looking like Alizea. That's crazy. I can understand if I'm looking like a butch queen. I can understand if I'm looking dusty, but I'm not. I don't understand it. And it's just all about respect to me. Like, I'm respecting you, so why can't you respect me as a human being? I don't understand these bad built people, for real.
And so then I started, walking around with an attitude or whatever, because, like, don't talk to me like that or whatever, right? I'm the type of person, I wear my emotions, right? And so, like, everybody can tell I have an attitude, and everybody's asking me, like, what's wrong? I'm like, please just leave me alone. I'm here to work. Like, I'm not here to socialize with you people, right? And so, she tells, all the other managers, she's like, Isaiah has an attitude. I'm like, when are y'all going to get my pronouns and my preferred name right? Like, it's not Isaiah, it's Alizea. Like, it irritates me. It stresses me out sometimes, because I don't like that type of stuff. Like, literally, like, you see me doing this, like, Lord. So then after that or whatever, like, I clock out or whatever, it was the day over, like, I'm done, I'm tired, like, boom shakalaka. I'm gonna be honest with y'all, I started to resent this job, because I realized I'm getting paid for so little. I'm stressing myself out. I'm working every single day, and I'm being honest with y'all think I was lying. No, I was working every single day for 6 months straight. Put that in perspective. You're waking up to go to work. Then after you get off of that job, you got to go to the next job. You have to do that for 5 days straight. Then after that, you're off on one job, but then you have to go to the next job and stress yourself out even more. I'm tired. I'm not trying to do all that. And so my checks was fat, not gonna lie, my checks was fat because I was putting in that work, but I felt like I was stressing myself out more, and it was starting to mess with my health. Like, I would have horrible back problems, like my voice was getting so hoarse, like I'm just like exhausted, like every time like it's time to get up for work, I just physically can't get out of bed. Like, I was emotionally and physically exhausted. And so I went into work one day or whatever, right? Same old, I'm doing what I need to do or whatever, right? And so then all of my coworkers are like, what's wrong with you? I'm just here to work. And I be telling my coworkers, I'm not here to socialize, because one thing I've noticed when you're working in like 9-to-5 jobs or whatever, and you're working in corporations, when you socialize with people, when you tell people your business, people always run their mouth. I do not need to know that my servers, like my coworkers, are sitting over here goosing on each other and cheating on their partners, and then y'all sitting over here trying to mess with the GMs and stuff like that. Like, I don't need to know that. Like, y'all need to close your legs. Like, it's giving nastiness, like nasty, and just like stuff like that. I don't even want to tell y'all the reality, because girl, then y'all will really gag, and I don't even know who's watching this. But it's like my coworkers are so nasty, and everybody has attitudes, and everybody's so fake with each other. Like, everybody talks about each other. I don't want no part of that. I know my place, girl. I'm gonna mind my business and keep my business to myself. I don't need to socialize with you fake people. And so like I was stressing that to them. And again, somebody went to go run their mouth to, the manager or whatever, right? So then she pulls me to the side. She's like, I hope we're supposed to work as a family, and da-da-da-da-da. She tried to give me that whole little, thing. I'm like, girl, I don't need to hear all that. I'm exhausted. I am tired. I'm not trying to sit over here and socialize with people. And then I told her, I was like, why would I socialize with people when you're fake towards me too? You give me this fake smile, and you be trying to be all buddy-buddy with me, and then as soon as I turn my back, you frown and you start mugging me. I don't want to hear it. So then I walk off and I went on by my day. And so then I stressed my GM when he came in. I was like, you need to get in control of your managers or whatever, because they stressing me out. So last Friday was my last day at work or whatever, because like I was exhausted. I was already tired, and I already had in the back of my head, I might quit this job. Like my New Year resolution was to get another job. I wasn't playing no games, right? And so, I already had in the back of my mind, if somebody messes with me, I'm just going to walk out or whatever, right? So I was watching a video from Lucky or whatever, like one of the trans women on here or whatever, right? And she was stressing, and she was like, don't ever sit over here and if, your instinct or like, the universe is telling you to do something different or do something out the norm, trust your instinct. And, in the back of my head, like my instinct is telling me to leave this job, but I'm like, my money and my paycheck is telling me not to leave this job. And I'm not going to lie, like I was really on wit's end with this job. And so, I went into the job or whatever, I was doing what I had to do or whatever, right? And what really got me was, I'm casually just minding my business, I'm listening to Nicki Minaj in my headphones or whatever, right? And so this big, tall dude or whatever, he's like a line cook or whatever, right? He gets on my absolute nerve. Like, he shoved me out the way one time, right? Like, when I was working or whatever, right? And I told him, I'm like, why did you shove me? And then he's like, you're in my way. And then he walked off. I'm like, Lord, please, God. Because, like, me, I'm the type of person, I be wanting to spaz on people. And I be trying to control my emotions because I'm just like my mama. Like, girl, I am the type of person, I'm going to drag you. And not drag you physically. I'm going to drag you, verbally, girl. I'm going to hurt your feelings. So I was like, let me keep my cool. So I'm working. I'm like 2 hours into my shift and I'm exhausted, right? And my energy drinks are gone. Like I just stopped drinking energy drinks or whatever, right? So I'm like, trying to, stock up some bread or whatever, right? Y'all, tell me why they had an order of 300 breadsticks and they only told me 1 minute in advancement. Why would you do this? And so then once they start pulling all the bread is swept. Like it's gone. Like everything is gone, right? So y'all, all the servers are like, why are you not moving fast? Like we need bread. I'm like, y'all act like I'm just multiple people. I'm one person. And it was stressing me out. Like, my bad, y'all. But, like, it was stressing me out. And so then, I'm stocking up the bread and it's taking so long. So then the managers come back there and they're like, when that bread gonna be ready? I'm like, you know what? I'm done. So, I was like, you know what? Just give me a second. I need to go to the bathroom, right? So I went to the bathroom, whatever, right? And, the bread was in the oven cooking or whatever, right? I didn't care about it no more. If it got burned, it got burned. But, I'm in the bathroom. I'm looking in the mirror. I'm like, you know what, Alizea? I'm about to literally spaz out. Like, I'm telling myself, like, you're about to spaz out, right? So I come back out and I come back in or whatever, right? I try to cut the corner or whatever, right? Y'all, tell me why this server with this big tray literally didn't say coming out, right? Hit me face first. I was over it, right? So all the pasta, all the stuff fell over me. I was over it. So immediately I almost like spazzed out. I almost cussed them out. Like I was on 10. That really got me on 10. So I went back. I was doing what I needed to do or whatever. Like I'm tossing that bread. It's going and going and going. And y'all, I'm starting to sweat. I'm like losing myself. Like as soon as I take the tray out and I put it in the thing, it's gone. So I'm like turning and around and it's gone. And they're just casually waiting. And now they're, kicking and cackling and talking behind my back. I'm like, you know what? I'm done. So immediately I walk out or whatever, right? I'm just like, you know what? I pack my bags. I pack my purse. I get my food or whatever, girl. I put in my little to-go order and I walked straight out that place because I was over it. Like, I realized as a trans woman, why are you stressing yourself out and trying to people please? Like, I say this a lot. I know exactly what I want in life. Like, I want to be happy. I want to be successful. I don't see myself working a 9-to-5 job for the rest of my life. I think that's insane to work a 9-to-5 job for the rest of your life. And not to sit over here, shame anybody who's doing that. You are the strongest person if you are working a 9-to-5 job in your 30s, your 50s, your 80s. Like, you're strong. I can't see myself doing that. I want to impact people's lives, and this ain't impacting people's lives. I'm starting to feel stuck. The main thing I noticed with this job is because I don't have no time to myself, I'm feeling stuck. I'm feeling like this is just a same old cycle. I don't want to feel like that. I want to get out of Texas. I want to go, go to Atlanta or just go to California or just go somewhere that's big, that has opportunities. I want to be a model. I want to be an actor. I don't want to be a fast food worker. I don't want to work, in restaurants for the rest of my life. I don't want to clock in and clock out. If I want to clock in and clock out, I want to do that for something that I love. I don't love working in food. I don't love working in, just all these industries. I hate retail. We don't want to get into that. I hate that type of stuff. I just don't like working, period. The thing that I like working is I like doing this type of stuff. I like encouraging people to love themselves. I like going out and, just doing like influencer type of things. That's who I am as a person. I feel like I'm an influence. I feel like I'm a leader. I'm not leading by following somebody. I don't like that type of stuff. And, I want friends, and I feel like I don't have no time to make actual bonds. I don't have no time to get out of the house and just go live life and breathe air and just go get connections to get there. Like, it's exhausting. It's so exhausting. So I just, took a break, and I was like, you know what? I'm finna go home. And right after I left, right, I had to go to work at my other job, right? I went in there with the biggest smile, and everybody's like, you're oddly happy. Like, you haven't been like this for a while. Y'all, I feel free. I finally felt free, and I feel free now still. Like, I'm exhausted, don't get me wrong, but I feel so freaking free. Like, I'm so happy to feel free and away from this job, because I was stressing myself out. I was putting in so much effort, and I felt like it was never getting me anywhere. And I don't like to feel like that. I truly don't like feeling like that. And I'm getting emotional talking about this. Like, it hurts. It really hurts. Like, I hate feeling stagnant. I don't want to be stagnant in life. I want to make impacts. I want to do different things. I want to grow. I want to always grow as a person. And I also want to put in effort to my transition as a trans woman. I want those hormones. I want those surgeries. I just got to get out of Texas. My main goal is to get out of Texas. I hate it here. This is not the place to sit over here and be an influencer. Even Houston, girl, I don't even think, no, Houston is not the place in my opinion, girl, because when they get hit by a category 6 hurricane, then everybody going to be underwater. I ain't got time for all that. And I sure don't want to go to Dallas, because Dallas, ooh, girl, that's hot, nasty, and ghetto. Gotta go. And this is the last and final thing that I'm going to say, y'all. I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I always say this. I tell y'all to sit over here and not care about people disrespecting you and letting people sit over here, call you by, your dead name and stuff like that. I say that you shouldn't care, because I go through that type of stuff, and I know how it affects me mentally. So I don't want my bookie bears, and I don't want my sisters, and I don't want any of y'all who like me and watch me and love my content. I don't want y'all to be dealing with that type of stuff and letting people control your emotions, because what I've noticed and what I've had to learn as a trans woman is you can't let people control you. You can't let people affect your mood. You can't let people, sit over and have all this, power over you. I don't like that type of stuff. I'm always for doing what makes you happy. If you know that you don't want to work a 9-to-5 job, don't do it, girl. You might have to sell that poom poom, but it's okay, girl. You do you, okay? But I know me, I just need to get out of here. I need to go, and I need to do everything that I want to do, because I know exactly what I want to do. I want to be an influencer. I want to be an impactful person. I want to be like a Kai Cenat. I want to give back to the homeless people and not just some chunk change. I want to give people homes. I want to really help people's lives. I can't do that at that job. But if you guys enjoyed this video, please leave a like, a comment, and a share. Make sure you subscribe, girl. Get up into the ghetto homosexualness or whatever, boom shakalaka. But this ghetto black transsexual has to go, or whatever, y'all. I'm exhausted. I'm tired, and I gotta go to work again tomorrow, but finally off. Like, I'm gonna be off the next day, so boom shakalaka, ba-da-ba-ba-ba. But yeah, I gotta go, girl. I just wanted to get this off my chest. It was another rant video. I'm gonna give y'all some other videos though, so y'all better buckle up on my soul. But bye, loves.